you so much for joining us today for the first inspirational session of the year and also our February inspirational session. We have Aurora with us today. Thank you so much for taking our time to join us. And we'll have a detailed intro as we go along. And thank you to Rebecca and Lara as well for organizing and putting together the session for today. So as we move on, we'll start with housekeeping rules. We will record the session. So please, if you do not want to be recorded, you could kindly, drop off and then listen to the recording later on YouTube. Or if you don't want your video to be recorded as well, you could turn it off. We can put our questions in the chat window. It works as well. Or feel to unmute your mic at the end of the session, just before we wrap up, if you have any questions for the speakers. About textilers, the year 2020, myself and Olajumoke, co-founder, she's also on the call today, with a vision to help women who are starting off their careers in tech. We also are aware that there are women who are career switchers and are trying to move from old tech to new tech. And we know that we also have the women who are kind of advanced and women leaders in technology. So the vision of Textilers is to bring together all of these women and in a community that would help everyone grow and thrive, like a safe space. And we're excited and grateful for how far we've come as a community over the years. So we usually have our meetup dates here. We have our inspirational sessions on the last Saturday of every month. And we have our tech deep dive sessions, which we run as well once in a year, which is a series of tech sessions that we have women mentors leading and training on. So to host today, we have Rebecca taking us as well in the session of today. She'll be introducing our speakers. And before I hand over to her, Rebecca is certified training professional with 5 years of experience, and she is also a Microsoft super user in our user group and has been a great volunteer for Textilers. So I will hand it off to her. These are the handles of Textilers. You can please follow us on them to stay tuned to us. Rebecca, let's take it from here. Oh, your mic is on.
All right, so while we're waiting for Rebecca, so hello everyone. Just like Foyin said earlier, is it safe to say Happy New Year? This is our first session. So we're going to start quickly by having Foyin. Foyin is going to speak to us on AI agents and unlocking the future of autonomous automation. And I'm sure we all look forward to her session. Afterwards, we'll call on Aurora and also introduce her. Sorry for my cracky voice. I'm just down with a bit of flu. And at this point, I'd just like to hand over to Foyin. Foyin, over to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ellie. All right, so I'm sure that we've all heard agents, AI agents. There's been a lot of buzz around it in the last couple of months. And some of us will be wondering what this is, how does it affect me, what do I need to know, how do I need to prepare for it? Loads and loads of questions around this. So today we're just going to talk about them and the Microsoft perspective as well, because, we love Microsoft. I love Microsoft. So we'll talk a bit about the tools that Microsoft has available for AI agents and also what your perspective is. And then I'll pass it on to Aurora. So what are AI agents? When we think of AI agents, we just kind of think of automation at a higher scale, like a hyper scale, like next level automation, right? So these agents are a combination of like bringing AI into automation. So I'll just say AI plus automation is equals to the agents, and it's giving that next level of interaction for us. So the plan is not to replace human, but to kind of eradicate repetitive tasks. But what we're doing is that in addition to eradicating repetitive tasks, we're bringing in intelligence based on the knowledge that we have already. So, for example, a customer comes in to interact with your chatbots that already exist and says, "Oh, I'd like to return a product which I bought a while back." What will usually happen is, oh, the agents will say, "Oh, what kind of product is it? You know, what's the serial number and all of that." And then when the chatbot gets all of that information, if it's not able to determine, because your case is an edge case, it needs to route to a live agent. So that's kind of how chatbots work today. But what this agent does is it has the intelligence and the knowledge to go into the return policy document, scan through it, and see, okay, what happens in this edge case situation? How do I handle this and how do I manage it? And is then able to automatically give a feedback to the clients. So it is intelligent automation. That's what the agents are doing. So that's what agents are, and that's what they're about. So it's taking your automation, the knowledge that you already have in your organization available to you, and then wrapping it around your large language model. A combination of these three bubbles gives you the AI agents. So why does this matter? Yeah, why are we interested in agents? Why should I care? So because agents are going to transform the way we work, right? Agents are going to become, as we say, a part of the team. Because with the different type of agents that Microsoft is coming up with, you can mention them the way you would mention your team member and say, "Oh, I need this particular agent to check the leave policy on my behalf. I need to talk to the HR agent to confirm what the travel policy is." And right there from your interface in, say, the Microsoft 365 Copilot as an example, you can mention the agent and just put your request in, and the agent goes out to get the answer for you. So that's how agents would work. They would be like team members in our team, but they're not like people, they are just agents. So they will assist us with repetitive tasks, automate our tasks for us, hereby enhancing productivity. And why should you care also is because AI is going to continue to remain relevant in the workplace. So we cannot ignore it. We cannot say, "Oh, I'm so tired of this AI. Everywhere I go, people are talking about AI and agents and all of that. Can we just talk about something else?" Yes, we can, but the AI is here to stay. So it's important that we embrace AI. Now, we may have heard of the word agentification before. What is that? It's just the process of integrating AI agents into our daily work, replacing manual tasks with AI-driven automation. That's all it is, intelligent automation. And I just put a little table here that differentiates traditional automation from AI agentification. So traditional automation will follow the set rules, and when there is no rule in place for it, it doesn't know what to do. So I've told my automation, if this happens, then do this. But what happens if there's something else, in another condition that we have not considered? Then the automation fails. Its flexibility is very limited and it always requires a human input to it. So somebody has to do something to trigger it off. Either maybe I have to send an email, I need to click a button, and human input needs to come in for these automations to happen or to kick off. But with AI agentification, it makes decision based on data. So an email can come in and it reads the email and can decide on what to do next with that email. So it learns and adapts over time. So it understands that, oh, based on the actions that I carried out 3 days ago, um, which didn't work very well. This was how it should have worked when the human came into the loop. Then I need to act in this way now because I'm in that same situation that I was. So it's not going back to do the exact same thing that I did 3 days ago, but it's improving on that. And then it can work independently with oversight. So we're not saying, or because it's AI agents, it can 100% run without a human. You can always impute an human element to it if you want to. So that's an option. So when we think of AI agents, we're looking at, the Copilot Studio, and I'm taking us a bit into the Microsoft world and business processes. So with Copilots, you have the human augmentation, works as your personal assistant, and then there are only as many co-pilots as there are people. But when you talk about agents are expert systems that work autonomously. It can work on behalf of a company or an organization, and they are more agents than people. So that's the main difference. You want the agents to do a lot of the repetitive work, heavy lifting work, and only pass it on to the people where it's a completely new scenario, and or you have said to the agent when you built it, if you have this edge case scenario, you need to let me know. So when we look at the way the system is layered together, you would see that we have, Copilot Studio as the interface. So where Microsoft is going to, based on like Ignite and a lot of the conversations that has happened, is I want to get to a point where your Copilot is the interface that you interact with, and all of the agents are behind. Because what we also saw back in the day is as you created different chatbots, like you have an HR chatbot, you have an IT help desk chatbot, you have all of these chatbots. What's happened is you have so many bots all over the place. And then you need to kind of go to chatbot you need to talk to this chatbot in another interface and this chatbot in another interface. But what's happening here is you have a single window, and all you have to do is just mention your agents, and then they can go off and get the task done, or go off and retrieve an information for you, or go off and tell you what it is that you need to do next based on the prompts that you have given it to do. So, and the agents can be task driven or 100% autonomous. And the Copilot Studio that we see in the middle is a Microsoft tool that helps you to create these agents in a low code way. And then you can use your AI Studio or your AI Foundry to create a more sophisticated agent. So this is what the spectrum of agent looks like. So we have the very simple ones that do retrieval. Oh, I need to get this information. Can you tell me about this? What was the information that was shared at the last board review meeting? Very simple retrieval agents. They just get the information, summarize it, and bring it back to you. Then we have the tax action and the tax agents, where it's carrying out certain tasks, automating workflows based on the sorry, you can't. I'm not sure if that's for me. So can you hear me?
No, for you. No, it's not for you. It's go ahead, please.
Okay, all right. Sorry. So that's the tax oriented is more tax focused, where you tell it what to do and carries out the tax. And then the autonomous one is the very advanced one, that where the agent operates 100% independently and dynamically, and then can also orchestrate other agents based on the feedback you've given it to it. And I have a simple video I'm going to show to us that just shows you one real life scenario of how this works. Okay. So these are some common examples of how we move from simple to advanced. So your IT help desk agent is considered as simple, is retrieving information for you. Your project tracker agents, like saying, oh, okay, the IT help desk, how do I connect to the corporate network? That's a simple question. It gives you the answer. Agent, what's the status of phase 2 of this particular project and what's the remaining budget? It goes there, gets the information for you, gives you the answer. So these are the simple agents that we have. And then you can have two tax-driven agents. So examples here. Request a new laptop and send approvals via IT service desk tool. So that's a task you want the agent to carry out on your behalf. Or review outstanding open POs and begin financial planning. So that's also tax oriented. But as we move to the other end of the spectrum, we can see agent has identified and researched 15 new leads for you to review. So you didn't there was no input from you as a human. The agent is just telling you that based on all of the activities that have happened in the organization so far, there are 15 new leads that you need to work on. And it's also, the other example here is for a customer support agent, where the agent has identified new support issued and triage it to other agents. So there are some new support issues that have been logged already. So it's already understanding that, or based on the support issues that are coming in, these are the agents that need to work on. It's completely autonomous and doesn't require human inputs, or could have human oversight based on the way it's configured. Okay, so I'll just play this very short video for us to kind of bring some of this to light. Let me see if I can share my sound. Okay. I don't know if you can hear, and it's on YouTube, so we can always rewatch in our own time.
With Copilot Studio, customers now have the power to build autonomous agents to drive AI-first business process. Let's take a look at how McKinsey & Company, one of the largest global management consultancies, is piloting a client service agent with these new Copilot Studio capabilities. Say a prospective McKinsey client sends an email requesting an engagement. As soon as the email is received, the agent gets to work extracting the relevant details. It then follows a series of steps, including verifying any previous engagements with this customer, validating the industry sector, summarizing the client needs, and identifying the appropriate McKinsey expert to meet with the client. It then writes and sends an email to the selected expert with the relevant client details, the agent effectively reasoning over the situation to come to a resolution. It's been given operational guidelines in Copilot Studio, and it can think and act within those guardrails to get the job done. Now let's go behind the scenes to see how the agent was built. It started in Copilot Studio with simple instructions outlining the job it needs to perform. In this case, the agent's tasked with fielding all incoming engagement requests from McKinsey clients. That means it monitors inbound requests, identifies the right McKinsey partner to meet with the customer, and sends an email to finalize the details. The agent has clear triggers, which allow it to work autonomously. It's on 24/7, looking for those triggers. In this case, it's looking for an email. But it could also be triggered by events from a wide range of sources, including line of business applications. The agent has a knowledge base, enabling it to tap into both your productivity data, leveraging the Microsoft Graph, and your line of business systems across knowledge sources like SAP, ServiceNow, and Fabric. Finally, the agent has clearly defined actions it can take to get work done. And you can add new actions from over 1,500 data connectors. Based on the specifics of each incoming request, the agent identifies and executes the most appropriate actions for the situation. If you want to see what the agent is working on, you can go to the Activity tab. You just saw how the agent managed one engagement, but this agent is actively managing dozens of inbound requests from many different clients, all at the same time. You can see its performance at the top, or delve deeper in the Analytics tab. There are some instances when the agent knows it needs to escalate to a human. Let's take a look at one of those. We can see the steps the agent already completed, but then it got stuck. Let's dig deeper to see what happened. It looks like it couldn't find the partner, as he is no longer at the company. This triggered a flow where the agent needed to escalate to a human. Let's jump to BizChat, where we can see the notification from the agent. Copilot presents all relevant information from the manager to verify. The manager decides to manually reassign the engagement to someone else on the team. Now the agent can processing the final details and sending an email to the right people. In piloting this agent, McKinsey & Company found lead time could be reduced by 90% and administrative work reduced by 30%. That was just one example of an agent being piloted. Soon, we anticipate every organization will have a constellation of agents that support individual employees, teams, and functions to orchestrate business processes. Copilot Studio will be where you build these agents, and Copilot will be where you interact with them. With Copilot Studio, every customer has the power to build their own custom autonomous agents.
All right. I hope you found that as interesting as I did. So that's just a simple example of
With
how
Copilot Studio,
a simple example of how the AI agent works in the real life and real sense. And we can see that from that drop down list, there were so many agents, lead loan application, lead generation, paper board reviews, lots of agents that we can then call from Copilot. We just mention the agent, tell it what to do, and it does it automatically. And it was very interesting the way the agent continued the process when the human gave it guidance. So it got stuck because the person had left, and it came to the account manager, said, look, this person is not available. What do you want to do? And he says, oh, just assign it to somebody else. And he just went back off and picked up the process from exactly where it stopped. So it's that type of intelligence that we're talking about. I don't know, every time I watch it, I'm always so excited about what's coming. So what should your perspective be about all of this? How is our agents going to affect your work? There's some positive parts of it, like what we've seen. All of those repetitive things that we do that takes a lot of time, is going to be taken off. I watched a video today as I was preparing for the session, and I can find the link and share with us as well. Amazing. Like, you can copy from a Word, you just copy it from a Word file, and you can paste it into for those of us that are familiar with like Power Apps, model driven app, it's just like a form. Just like paste it on the browser, not into any particular field. And what that agent does is the agent is able to identify from what it has copied where each of those data should go to, like data entry and a data entry agent. And it filled everything, the date, the time, the name, the phone number, all of the fields were automatically populated into the form. That would have taken somebody, I don't know, maybe 15 or 10 minutes to manually input them. And it also inputted it in the correct format that is expected for that field to retrieve it. And that's an extract from, there's a video, an interview, there's an interview from Satya where he's saying that AI is going to become the interface that we use to get into all of our backend systems. Like, it's not going to be about, oh, this is Dynamics, and maybe this is Salesforce, and this is SQL, and I need to get data from here and pass it here and all of that. You just interact with your agents in the front, and then it just does all of the automation and retrieval from behind in a very seamless manner. So that's kind of where we are going to. So it helps faster decision making with AI powered insights, and we can see that a lot from tools like the Copilot for Power BI, where you can interact, just ask questions from your data, it gives you back the answers. And that's also available in the Copilot that is present in Excel. And of course, new career paths are coming and new opportunities are coming but from this. And what are the challenges? We need to adapt into, understanding the way AI-driven workflow works. For us, we need to develop our skills, our AI literacy skills, and we need to understand how to work with the AI, not against it. Very key. AI is not your enemy. I was having a discussion with MJ before this session, and we'll be amazed the different perspectives that are out there about AI and agents and all that. But the first thing we just need to learn, if you take nothing from this session, is the AI agents are your friend. They're not your enemy. They're not working against you. They're working for you. And like somebody said, it's not AI that will replace. It's not AI that will replace anyone. It's the person that uses the AI that would replace, because that person is working in an intelligent manner. So we need to work effectively with the AI agents. We need to be open, like we've said, test and learn, be curious. Be curious, are very important. What's this about? What does it do? How can it help me? Where is it going to? How can I position myself? Develop your AI literacy. We all know where our gaps are. So try and make the efforts. At least every week, you have to be able to say, this is what I've learned, about AI agents, about agentification, about how it can affect me, and this is how I'm positioning myself. And let's focus on collaborating with it, not competing against the AI and the agents, and upskill yourself in areas of critical thinking, problem solving, and also AI ethics, because these are going to be big. When all the answers are readily available, then you need to be able to say, this is where I play as a human, right? because we can see that at some point the humans still needed to come in. The AI agent didn't know what to do. Oh, you told me to send this to this partner. This partner does not exist anymore. What do I do? So there are part times that the AI needs to work with a human to achieve the objective. So that's where we need to develop ourselves in terms of this critical thinking and understanding, okay, this is how we need to approach this challenge, this issue, and then we can then just create the agents to do the repetitive stuff for them while we spend our time doing more creative things. So we'll see AI agents becoming a big thing now and into the near future, because it just, like in the McKinsey story, we heard that 90%, there was 90% savings on the time. So every company wants to reduce their operational inefficiencies, and they want to ensure that they are more profitable. So they would embrace AI agents for that purpose. There will be an increased focus on human AI collaboration, because the intelligent thinking and strategic thinking still sits with us, the humans. And employees with AI skills will have the career advantage, because you know how to use the tools and you know how to use the skills to become more effective as an employee. So you would always be at the cutting edge and the advantageous side of the pendulum. Okay, so that's everything from me. Thank you very much. Hope this was enough to get you excited about AI agents. And,
awesome. Thank you so much.
To make you learn more. So I'll stop sharing now. See, we have some questions.
Thank you, Foyin. We actually have some questions. And if you're happy, I'll read them out. The first question is from Rukayat Esa. And she's saying, I'm curious, please, is the agent same thing as what we are able to do creating GPT? That's generative pre-trained transformer, I think. But I'll leave you to answer that question, Foyin.
So when you say creating GPT, do you mean like the little bots you create from, like the one Olive showed us a while back? Is it something like that?
So my understanding of the question is just when we chat with a bot, is that the same thing as an agent?
Oh, the response we get.
The response is yeah.
Okay. Yes, it is. Yes, please unmute.
Oh, Rukayat wants to unmute, so go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, no, what I'm actually referring to is on ChatGPT now. You can create your own GPT when you're on the paid version. Like for instance, I created something around what I'm managing currently, that is empowering women on business fundamentals. So you can create GPT to only answer questions that is structured around that that contest, right? Like just using the test instruction, and then you just launch it to the market. And then when you go to the ChatGPT environment, you can go to GPT explore page to assess what you have created. That is actually what I was referring to. That is it the same thing as AI agents? Thank you.
Okay, understood. Thank you. And that was exactly what. So if you didn't come to the AI for all session, we had a beautiful session where Olive showed us exactly what you've described. So yes, that's also an AI agent. So if we come back to this spectrum here, let me quickly share my screen. We can see that it starts from the simple to the advanced. So there's a simple part where you're just asking it questions and it's responding to you. So what you've created there is something like that IT help desk agent, where you ask it a question, it gives you the answer, right? So the answer to your question is yes. So it can be simple here and it can be advanced, where it's requiring, that's the autonomous agents, where you have zero input from the human. It just does the work based on the list of instructions you've given it, like the McKinsey example. So those are the so the agents can range from the simple, very simple question and answer, like what you have, to the very advanced ones that you give it a list of instructions and it just goes working on its own without coming back to you, except there is something unclear to it, like when he couldn't find the partner in the company because the partner had left. He had to come back to get guidance on that. Hope that helps.
Amazing. Thanks, Foyin. I
Yeah.
told you we've
I
got
think-
experts in the house, so well answered. The next question is from Joan C. Is AI agent an infant stage to AGI? Another question for Foyin.
Apologies, I'm not sure what AGI is.
AGI.
So does
Joan, do you want to
Joan-
clarify? I believe this is a more advanced.
Maybe I can help
Yes,
you.
please. Yeah,
yes,
because
if
I
I
know we
can
have
help.
AI experts in the house, so the floor
All
is
right,
open,
so
please.
so to your question, so I'll start from the last one that says that is AI agent the infant stage of artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is a kind of that is the AGI, that is artificial general intelligence. It's kind of it's a type of artificial intelligence that sort of mimic some form of cognitive abilities of human brain. And when you talk about the cognitive abilities, you're actually talking about ability for you to reason and for you to be able to reason like human. Normally, what are the cognitive activities that a normal human being would do? The intelligence around reasoning and all of that. So you can say AI agents, yes, to your question, can be like an infant stage of AGI. Why will I say that? The reason is because as human, you have the ability for you to be able to make decision and also to act autonomously. Now, with agents, that is the key thing about it, the ability for them to be able to make decision or make or act autonomously, like they reason on their own and then they can take actions on their own. Now so in a way you can say yes, that is what it is like. But okay, so I've seen a question again. So, but when it comes to the way AI, so when you talk about AI generally, I mean, that's the whole thing is AI is is a technology. We all know that is that technology that allows machines to mimic the way human beings, what normally human beings should do. That is what machines are doing, you get. And then they are doing things that require human cognitive experience or abilities, like you said, decision making. All of that is what is required of humans. So but in your question, like you're asking right now, the question you're asking, what you need to know is that when it comes to chat, I'm moving away from the other one, I'm moving back to ChatGPT. For ChatGPT, you're the same person that asked the question. I'm not sure whether you're the same person, but for ChatGPT fits on large language model. So the way it is different from AI agents is that you give ChatGPT today a prompt. It responds back to you with that prompt. What you have created is that you've already created some form of a large language model that you're saying you've created something, a large language model around for a woman, for women in whatever the scenario you said earlier on. And what that is actually doing is that at any time there is a prompt based on the data you filled your ChatGPT with, it will respond back. And why is it ChatGPT that is? Why is it GPT? It is generating response in text-like. It's generating a response that makes it feel like what the way human being will respond in text-like. But when it comes to AI agents, the difference is that it is acting autonomously in a way that it is interacting with the environment, is making decisions and taking actions based on specific goals. Do you get? That's like difference between it, and that's why it looks more
Yeah.
like, okay, oh, is this is there an example of an AGI? Do you get? And that is the difference between the two. So I just want to quickly give you that background. Maybe I hope that helps really.
Thanks,
Yeah.
MJ. Joan, I hope
Thank
that was
you.
helpful for you. We're just going to move swiftly now that we've dealt with all the questions for Foyin. And I'm just going to introduce Aurora, who's our next speaker.
Hello. Can you hear me well?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just
I
going
had
to
my
quickly...
hand. Just quickly ask a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, go
Is
on.
that fine?
Go on
All
quickly.
right. I had stop. Yeah. All right. So, Foyin, thank you so much for that presentation.
I was just going to introduce Aurora. So Aurora is an AI strategy manager with a knack for transforming data into strategic gold. Specializes in leveraging artificial intelligence. I'm not going to read everything, but her technical prowess, she's passionate. She's an advocate for professional development, and I think she's got a key message about self-promotion today. So without much ado, she is a strategist and a mentor and leader. Welcome to the virtual stage, Aurora Capel. Take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm very glad to be here today. I want to thank everyone who made it possible for me to join your community today. And even though my expertise is rather quite technical, I've graduated from Oxford in a master in statistical science. Previously, I studied econometrics and data science. So even though I have quite an expertise as an AI specialist, I am very much passionate about developing soft skills and promoting yourselves into your path of career and into your workplace as well. So today, unlike other times, I will give a more not technical talk, but how to self-promote yourself at work, giving some tips, why is it important, and how you can do it better, elevator pitch, and obviously how to maintain and build your network. I have prepared some slides that I will happily go through together. And in the meantime, please, any question that you have, I would like to make it as interactive as possible. Feel free to unmute yourself and, have a discussion together. I cannot see the chat while I use the presenter view on the slides, but feel free to unmute so we can hear each other. Hopefully you can see my slides, and if someone can say yes, I would really appreciate it.
Yes, we can. Self-promotion. Good.
Thank you. Perfect. So welcome once again. And today we'll talk about the importance of self-promotion, how to self-promote yourself, and building and maintaining your network. So why it is actually important to self-promote, and what do I mean by that? So self-promotion in itself, it is an art, right? It is an art of you promoting yourselves, your activities, what you do, the things that you do besides your daily task and the work, because it helps you to embrace other opportunities during your career path. It gives yourself more chance for the success, which is important to everyone, and you will be recognized for the work and all your talent that you do have, and not only on your day-to-day tasks, but long-term success in your side. And obviously companies, organizations want people who do show this and want people that show their best talents. A little survey has shown that actually 67% find self-promotion extremely important for their career success, which is a very significant number, right? It shows that most of the people who tend to go to more senior roles, leadership roles, it's all about self-promotions. Obviously, the skills are tangible and you build them on the way, but if you don't self-promote those, then the chances of you going up into your career, it's going to be less. And a good expression, I would say, that kind of describes everything that I'm saying is, if actually you yourself are not able to promote yourself, No one else will do it for you, right? So you should be the one who self-promote yourself and go out there and demonstrate to the people what you're actually capable to do. There are many ways that you can self-promote. So there is different setting how this whole thing takes place. We have internal, but we also have external. With internal, we mean cases when you get promoted within the company. So the success that you do on your day-to-day task and your job helps you build the relationship with the different stakeholders, and your success, show it for yourself. Internal opportunities within the company to networks, event, or communities within the work that you can join, which help you boost your visibility, your name into the work, and also engaging with other peers and colleagues of yours. Showing leadership skills is another aspect, how internal cases of self-promotion takes place. Another thing is external, which every one of us do with this textilers and amazing community, right? It is a way for you guys to promote yourself outside the work that you do, the companies, and publicly go out there and showcase your skills and make this connection with one another. It is all about showing leadership skills in both of them, right? And that's why I put it at the last, because both of them are pillars to any type of self-promotions that it does takes place. Public speaking, it's an art in itself. It's the beauty, since Greek Asian, it has taken place. It is an art that people try to every time build skills on it and learn how to even be more confident in it. And I think communities like Textilers are best place for you guys to actually take part in and show this case as well. Beautifully, self-promotion does not necessarily happen intentionally. So someone does not do it actively, like intentional, to seek out the opportunities. But it comes very natural, even in unintentional. So people, even without realizing they're self-promoting their work themselves, it does happen that sometimes they're actually self-promoting, even when they don't know, or even the person in front of them is not recognizing they're doing so. It's just because sometimes it is even considered a luck. And it's all about recognizing in front of the people, in front of groups, what someone is actually capable to do. And the work and the results of someone's doing, it's just a recommendation. And that's why you tend to see people who go beyond and go up to their expertise just because they get recommended because of what they've been able to do. You can be very active about it. So, show your work, show your showcase, and tend to get very much engaged with external events. So this is an active side of self-promotion. Reluctant, which is more about the work and how you rely in also others people's good work, what they do. So, but we also have the last one, which is unengaged. So some people try to self-promote themselves, but not necessarily are interested in it, because not everyone sees it as a fundamental thing for their progress in their success. They just feel like they don't need to do so, and they just think they would rather do their work and let the work speak for itself, which is obviously something that we see also quite a lot. But as I said earlier, the chances of you not speaking up about what you're doing will not probably give you much about go much higher into the hierarchy of leaderships. So how you can do the self-promotion? So it's a very natural question that people be like, sure, I want to self-promote myself, but how I can actually do this? So how can I just go into a room of people in an external event, or even internal, which is about networking, and just come up about what I do? It's very easy. Start first of all by actually talking about your achievements, your results, something that you are proud, and a milestone that you have done, either for yourself or even within the team. So start promoting yourself internally and work your way up to the expert status. So show yourself that you are an expert into what you do, and you are a specialist, that people can rely on your skills, and build that network, something that later on we will quite good touch upon, because it is a building step of everyone. And I think it is quite important not only how to learn to create this network, but also how to maintain it, because it's very easy to be connected with people, but you might have more than 2K people connected on LinkedIn per se, but with how many of these people do you actually know? And will these people with you have interaction with that maybe they want to learn more about what you do or even the work, right? So be open to discussions and do not emphasize yourself constantly, because I will touch a bit as well, but it should be a fine line between bragging and the collective work that everyone in a team that you're working on is actually doing. Because some people, as I said, do not like to say out loud they are self-promoting, but maybe by showing what him or herself is doing in the team, um, by showing the team's work, can actually be a kind of self-promotion as well. And build a clear personal brand. It's very important. And by brand, I don't mean just a product or a service what you do, but yourself, your brand in itself as well. Um, so identify the barriers that actually sometimes hold you back from self-promoting, help promote others as well, find a mentor, interact with people as much as possible, and offer your expert advice. So show your specialism into the thing what you do by giving as many advice as possible. We just saw now, right? People asking about AI and everything, and we having experts in the room coming up and answering the question by showing their skills as well. So share your wins and share your thoughts and be creative as well. And I touched about one of the last things that I said, how to self-promote, is about the personal branding. What is the personal branding about yourself? Is what people say about you when you're not actually in the room. And this is a famous thing that Jeff Bezos, one of the most important people in the tech world, had thinks about the personal branding of the individual. And I think I very resonate with much of that, because most of the time it's quite strange that how often your name will come up maybe on tables or discussion when you're not even around. And it's quite important that that self-promotion helps you into building that brand of yours. But you are a person actually who the personal branding, it's up to you. So be yourself, because everyone else is taken, right? Quite cliche, I have to admit. But it is about showing your personal, professional identity, your goals and values that you stand for. And in each one of these, I've put question marks that I would like every one of you to actually think and consider when you are doing this personal branding of yourself. Think about how you showcase online. So maintaining your LinkedIn or GitHub page, any identity online environment that you use to network and connect with people, but even offline one, the moment that you actually in person, the social events that you have built as an identity and qualities that set you apart, so make you unique. Every one of us is unique in their skills, in their way, communications, personal thinking, critical thinking, everything. But show those qualities that you are proud of yourselves, that can help strengthen on the way your success in your career. Value the thing that you bring to the others, and also be authentic, because you have to distinguish yourselves, as I said before, and you have to not only empower yourself, which is very important, because your own empowerment also helps empowering other people around you. And that's quite important. And I've seen the love with some of you people here in this room, which is amazing. So how does this personal branding can be built, or things that you need to consider once you start this process of yourself? So it comes actually with, first of all, understanding yourself, discover yourself. What are your strengths? Be open and actually admit your weaknesses as well. It's quite honest and beautiful to say, I don't know, but I want to learn. But try to discover more about your things that make you unique. Be genuine about it and tell a story that is like an advertisement in a way about yourself. On the way, obviously, there is not always success on the road, right? And I think every one of us here can say so that we should be ready to fail at any time. But it's very important to create actually a positive impact into the other, because that's what builds you upon it. Build a digital identity. One of the things that I've mentioned quite a few is LinkedIn, and obviously you need to create a digital identity of yourself and how you represent yourself to the others. Establish credibility and gain visibility. With credibility, I mean that be consistent in your values and your goals, and show that you are actually focused on the qualities and what you bring to the others. And people, once you bring this to the table, let the others tell your story and leave a legacy behind. Try to follow someone that you find inspirational, someone that you actually want to look up to, that you find successful, because those people will help you on the way reach the things you want to discover about yourself. As I said, you have to be a bit careful with self-promotion, because sometimes you can go a bit like bragging, you know, so there's a thin line there. But how can we distinguish whether we are just talking about ourselves in a way that we're self-promoting, or actually are we just bragging about ourselves and showing that me? It's actually how you communicate it, so how we communicate our achievements. And I pointed out something here, that as long as you talk, from Kevin Kahn, as long as you talk factually, humbly, and respectfully about your achievement, it's not bragging. It's about visibility, career, and personal brand management. And I think that's something that we all have to consider. And as I said, not everyone likes to promote themselves all the time, right? So find a nice way to do this. It's also by uplifting the others, people around you, your team, without the expectation of just gaining for yourself. So make sure that even people in your team are gaining success as well and are around you, and by putting yourself along with them, aligning your goals and values. And it's very effective way of self-promotion, because not always just saying me is the best way to actually self-promote. If you're in a team and your team has a success, and you are one of those people that actually has an impact in it, your chances of succeeding even higher are quite high, because people see you, the value in the team. A lot of people in self-promotion have actually an elevator pitch. And what is that? It comes from the fact that actually you should consider yourself like you're in an elevator and you meet someone and you have to pitch your idea or something. But elevator pitch is even important for your personal branding, because it's just a short summary, which should not even take more than 20-30 seconds when you talk about it, presenting yourself. So it's about your skills, what you bring to the table, experience, and convincing people about who you are and what you do. You can also use elevator pitch to not only promote yourself, but actually if you have a business or project idea that you want to tell to someone. Imagine you meet Jeff Bezos. He's giving 1 million away, and you have a brilliant idea, and you meet him in the elevator, and you have to pitch it because you don't want to see him after he leaves the floor. So take this elevator pitch and make it your own. And I want to give some tips that can help you personalize your own elevator pitch. As I said, it should not take more than 20-30 seconds, and you might want to start maybe with a question or problem to frame your pitch. The tone of your, as I said, part of the public speaking skills is the tone of your voice and how you're presenting. Be confident in what you're saying, and also try to not use much complex word, but it's not easy for everyone to understand once you're rather quite technical, right? So you have to be someone who your language is speaking with everyone across the room. So tailor your pitch to every kind of audience. Practice, because as you know, practice makes perfect. And it is about, at the end, try to come up with a clear call of action. So would you like this person to be connected with you on LinkedIn? Would you like this person to maybe invest in your idea? Would you like maybe to even schedule a call with him? Be as clear as possible into this pitch that you're delivering to the person in front of you, what you want to get out of it. And here, I have a question to you, and I would like you guys maybe to unmute yourself. When should you think we should use an elevator pitch? So in your case, in your personal experience, when do you think you should want to use an elevator pitch? I did give a few examples, but have you maybe come across of using this in your daily life? And here's when I want to hear your input.
So if you can unmute your mic, who would like to go first? Do you want to raise hands, or how would you like to? When you meet Elon Musk, Niniola is saying That's an interesting one.
Let's just say Elon Musk is maybe with you in an elevator. Why would you get? When should you use an elevator pitch? So as I said, it could be projects, it could be business idea. It's all about showcasing the thing you want to get out. So the call of action. So there are many things that you can do with it. And maybe we can discuss later on while the Q&A about this as well. But I did mention about the network. And one of the things that it's important is building your network. And why is it important? Because it helps build your confidence to gain more a different perspective, and it helps build and develop long-lasting personal relationship. I met Lola in another event about self-promotion a few weeks ago, and it has built me to develop a long-lasting personal relationship with her because of the amazing talks that we have had. Get access to business and job opportunities by building your network, and you grow your personal brand, as I said. And a very important factor, at least to my personal experience, is you get to have a person that you can ask for an advice and a support, which I think is very important when you build your network. And I put a funny phrase that I saw somewhere in the internet. It was, if networking makes you feel dirty, you are not alone. Because when you're networking and you're trying to build this, network of yours of people, it's about how you communicate it and also what interests are you driving with your network. So it has to feel authentic. So focus on the learning, identify common interests that you have with the person, and think broadly about what you can give to the person, because it has to be mutual, right? You're learning both from each other, and find a higher purpose. So the moment that you are actually improving these network skills of yours, I would like to give 5 tips. Don't end abruptly the conversation. So while you're talking to a person, let them speak and finish their sentences, and try to engage to further next conversations with them. Try to exit in a friendly way. Look for body cues. Body language is one of the most, I think, important languages of the humans, because it shows quite a lot. Try to support your conversation as much as possible, especially if you have something or an idea they would like to say, and try to stand as much near the crowd. Mix up, go there and talk to as many people as possible. But as I said, building a network is different from maintaining, because you might have 2K, as I said, maybe followers or connections or even more into your LinkedIn, but it's about actually knowing these people that you have, because you have to engage in conversation. So maintain your network. Net worth is equal to net worth, and that is something that I really think it's important. It's about online presence, follow up, attend as many networking events, offer assistance and help, mentorship to the person, build authentic relationships, and communicate regularly. Catch up a few of the time, send a hi message, maybe a news that you see that you might find it useful for the person that you know. And, use social media, of course, to build your online presence and your digital identity, as we discussed before. I hope you have found this helpful, and I would like to give you the opportunity to connect with me. Here's the QR code to my LinkedIn as well. And I would like to stay in touch with all of you. And now, while I hope that you have scanned the QR code, I will stop sharing because I want to be able to see the chat, or if anyone wants to get unmute themselves as well.
Thank you so much, Aurora, for that insightful session on self-promotion and building confidence. I hope you guys have found that insightful. But there is a question here from Julia. How can you promote yourself confidently at your workplace in a practical way without feeling like you're bragging?
It's a very good question, because it's, as I said, there is a thin line, and some people do not understand whether they're going to an excessive bragging or not, right? And I think in a workplace, what is important is actually promoting yourself by having others as well on the table, in the sense of your team. So show the things that you are doing on the team, and show the success that you have brought to, for example, a project, because in that way you are actually self-promoting not only your work but also the team. And it sounds in the same time that you don't think about yourself but also the others, and that's not about excessive bragging. That's just about promoting yourself and the skill that you're doing. And I think that is one of the practical way that comes quite natural. And also you feel confident because once you put others in the chat, like in the sense of, while you say me but also we, you feel comfortable while the person in front of you. But great question, Julia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for providing an answer to that question. Thank you very much. So we're going to move swiftly on to the announcements. Foyin, have we got the announcements, or should I attempt sharing again? A couple of links for us to walk through. I found both sessions really interesting.
I'll just bring up my screen.
You sharing for me? Oh, lovely. Yeah. With saving on lead time and yes, please, just the announcements. So from Foyin session, it was about reducing lead time and administration time. And from Aurora, it was really important that we understand that our personal brand is, you know, what people say about us when we're not in the room. So on to announcements, please join Textiler volunteers. Okay, there's a form there. So please click on the form to join if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to either mentor or, you know, just be helpful to help this community grow. You can find us on Discord app and WhatsApp. So we have other communities that are very busy and engaged, and there's also a link to join. We've also got the 2025 International Women's Day. Accelerate Action is the team. All right. And yeah, so it's a textile celebration on the 29th of 2025, so of March. So please, can you put that in your diaries? We've also got a Twitter handle, is at Textilers. So Twitter now called X. And then on LinkedIn, we also have a link to LinkedIn, on YouTube as well. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and the website www.textilers.com. So if we can just have the links.
So thank you, Rebecca. I'll pass it to MJ now to talk about the Wenters. Sorry, I'm just finding the right screen. 1 second. Yeah, the Wenters events. MJ.
Thanks, Wayne.
Oh, MJ is trying to unmute her mic. We have a partnership with Wenters. Wenters is one of the communities that leads women mentorship programs, and they have a 4-week engagement for the International Women's Day of this year, which they have asked us to recommend some of the women in our community. So they're generously giving us 5 slots for women, and it's going to cover various topics. Some of the topics are highlighted on the right, which they are going to cover during this winter's edition. So we would put a link out to sign up or to just indicate your interest on our WhatsApp community group. And if you're interested in being part of this Wentors program, completely 100% free, you can just indicate your interest and we will pass your details on to them for you to get the specifics on the event. But it's really, really exciting. We had a call with the community manager yesterday evening, MJ and I, and we're super excited about what it is that they are doing and the impacts that they want to give to the women in the community. All right, I want to say a big thank you again to Aurora for joining us today. Your session was very insightful, and self-promotion is an important part of it. And I could relate with the question about, when do you when is a thin line between bragging and, feeling like you're bragging and, am I saying too much? Am I? So yeah, sometimes we just need to find the right balance, and it's so difficult for us women. We just want to do the work. and get on with it, not just go talking all over the place and saying, oh, this is what I did, but it's the world that we live in. We need to do it. So thank you so much. It was really, really interesting and exciting. I think Ellie had a question. I don't know if Ellie still wants to give us your question, your comment, and then you can wrap up for us tonight.
Thank you so much, everyone. Again, pardon me for my voice. Foyin and Aurora, you guys just nailed it. For Foyin, thank you for making some of us on this call that are like, oh, coding is difficult, to say, look, you can actually become an AI expert with no code, low code. Thank you for that reassurance. I'm gonna pass with my question. We can always discuss that later. And also for Aurora, thank you for letting us know that, look, you have to sell yourself. Otherwise, no one is going to sell you, and we'll take this in. I'll listen to this over and over again on YouTube once it's posted. And I'd like to say thank you to the audience, the community. Thank you for your support. Thank you for always being there. Thank you, Rebecca, for anchoring this. Thank you, Foyin, MJ, for founding this wonderful plan. We're going to chunk out a lot of projects, and I'm praying that this year we'll be able to, use the elevation pitch that we just learned from Aurora to sell some of the products that we're going to develop during the cohorts, because I want investors to buy and, buy some of the products that we're going to come up with. Thank you so much, everyone. And I wish you a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you're turning in from. And we all look forward to seeing you at the end of March for another wonderful and exciting session. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you. Bye.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Aurora.
Bye.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you, Lara.
Thank
Yes.
you. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Have a
everybody.
great weekend.
Have a lovely, lovely, lovely evening. And thank